If you were to name the world's biggest rideshare apps, you might come up with Lyft, Grab, Ola, but most likely you'd say Uber, the global powerhouse that makes headlines on a near daily basis. But in fact, the largest ride-hailing app by revenue and total valuation is Didi Chuxing, an invention by a former Alibaba employee that has monopolized the Chinese taxi market. So here's the story behind Didi and how it soon plans to expand to a city near you. Here's how it happened. Founder Cheng Wei left his role at Alibaba in June 2012 to launch Didi Dash, 3 years after the formation of Uber, and its initial focus was only on connecting taxi drivers with users across its home city of Beijing. By November, the startup had already caught the eye of investors, receiving $15 million in funding from Chinese conglomerate Tencent, and was going toe-to-toe with direct rival Didi Dash for control of the domestic smartphone-based ride-hailing market. The competition eventually resulted in a merger in 2015 called Didi Chuxing, which was soon valued at $8.75 billion, and the platform's aggressive expansion across China continued. In late 2015, the company underwent a rebrand and became Didi Chuxing, the latter half denoting the Mandarin word for travel, and was starting to be challenged by Uber, who had just launched their Chinese operations. Before long, Didi was following the trend set by other ride-sharing apps by investing heavily in autonomous driving research, given their biggest fixed cost is drivers' salaries, and eliminating this factor would enable them to reduce their prices enough to annihilate any competition. As a result, a $5.5 billion funding round took place in 2017, led by Japanese firm SoftBank, which was spent mostly on artificial intelligence technology and global expansion. Didi soon held stakes in the Middle East's Careem, North America's Lyft, Southeast Asia's Grab, and India's Ola, before completely acquiring Brazil's 99 in January 2018. Their services then extended to bike and e-bike rentals, plus car leasing, refueling, and recharging, as the Didi app launched in countries as far afield as Australia, Mexico, and South Africa, with a global reach that currently extends to 16 countries. The app has over 500 million users worldwide and more than 30 million drivers, making it slightly less surprising that Didi was recently valued at $80 billion, 20 billion more than Uber. But that doesn't mean it's all been plain sailing for the Chinese firm. Protests from taxi drivers have seen Didi cancel some of its operations, like in the city of Luoyang. Plus, both the North American and European markets, two of the most lucrative available, have proven elusive thus far, losing ground on the competition with every ride made through an app that's not theirs. With food delivery, financial, and logistics services now on offer through Didi, and total domination of the world's most populated country, the company is going to take some stopping. Revenues have topped $20 billion for the last 3 years in a row, and their recent IPO on the New York Stock Exchange was the second biggest ever for a Chinese firm, only behind Alibaba. The big five in tech have become pillars of society, and it's possible that Didi could even be the one to make it 6. And that's how it happened. Thanks for watching.